If you look behind me, you'll see an iconic fast food restaurant. And I think this is indicative of something that is terrible that has happened to our culture. We have learned to embrace convenience over quality. We embrace mediocrity. And this is starting to permeate all areas of our lives. And I'll give you an example that's near and dear to my heart. One of the things that pisses me off about modern couples counseling is the focus. A couple walks into a counselor's office nowadays and they say, hey, listen, we're having some trouble, we're having some issues in our relationship and we want to work it out, we want to stay together. So the couple counselor will use their skills and power to keep that couple together at all costs. They will teach them things like compromise, how to compromise on specific issues, how to develop a set of coping skills so that they can cope with each other. Well, that just sounds like more of embracing mediocrity to me. And it's not the counselor's fault, because the couple really does duty bound them to do that when they say, hey, we want to stay together. And I realize and I get that. I also realize that this leaves you with two alternatives: stay in a bad relationship, or a relationship that's not as good as it could be, or split. And I know that second alternative can be a really scary alternative. Most of us would much rather embrace the devil we know than encounter the unknown. And I totally get that and don't blame you. So today you have two choices. Stay in a bad relationship, and couples counseling is kind of ineffective, I think, because of this reason. I really do, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, their divorce rate has eclipsed 50%. So whatever they're doing isn't really working that well. So you can stay in the relationship or you can go, and those are your alternatives. I say, hey, let's seek a third alternative, and that third alternative is let's grow together. Let's help the couple grow together. Let's help them imprint on each other emotionally, instinctually. Let's help them embrace and appreciate each other's opinions and interests intellectually. And I think we can do that. The difference between growth and compromise, this is very interesting. A couple of years ago, I was getting ready to do a presentation. And I was doing a seminar, and I was wrestling with the concept of growth versus compromise. And I was in this little coffee shop in this really cool little hamlet, a town called New Hope, Pennsylvania. And I went to this coffee shop, and there was a young kid working. I thought maybe he was a college kid, but it turns out that he was actually a high school kid. And I said to him, hey, listen, I'm wrestling with this concept between growth and compromise. Oh, wait a second, we have some guests. Hey, how are you guys doing? How you doing? Hey, we're talking about true love. You guys have true love? Yes?
Maybe it's too late now.
Oh, it's too late for you? Hey, did you hear what she said? Those were our Indian friends. They were over at the fast food restaurant. At any rate, so I'm talking to this young man, and I said, I'm really wrestling with growth versus compromise. And he basically said to me, oh, that's an easy concept. I was like, oh, here we go. This ought to be good. And what he said was, he goes, compromise is solving an issue for today. He then went on to say, growth is solving an issue forever. I couldn't agree with him more. From the mouths of babes. From the mouths of babes. And that is truly the value proposition of this particular class, is to help you embrace growth and learn how to do it and how to grow together. Now, I realize many women stay in a love relationship, even if it's not a good one, for the kids. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard from women, hey, as soon as my youngest is out of high school, I'm leaving. I'm out of this relationship. Now, kids need to see a relationship that is actually based on love, not based on fear and loathing. And what we're actually ending up doing is creating a generational hamster wheel of relationship dysfunctionality. That's truly what we're doing. What I'd like to see for you, or even if you know someone that could benefit from it, I'd like to see you get off of that hamster wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the classroom after I get my Big Mac. I'm kidding about that. And I'll see you there. Hi, you're in class 203, Growth versus Compromise. And the charming gentleman at the fast food restaurant in the intro to this class should have told you that the value proposition is to learn how to connect with your love partner through growth, not compromise. Before we get into the specific material, what I want to do is outline some objectives that will help us, if we meet those objectives, will help us deliver on that value proposition. Number one, I want to discuss some of the issues with modern couples counseling and
what I think they do wrong, what I think they do right. Number two, I want to define growth versus compromise. I want to make sure that we're very clear on the difference in terms of how lovers connect, the difference between and the power of growth versus the not so much power of compromise. Number three, I want to review some ideas on how lovers can imprint on each other and help facilitate that growth, and that's very, very important. And then number four, I want to make sure that you learn how you can help your love partner, how you can help both of you grow together. And this is along the connecting lines of the physical, the emotional, and the intellectual in your love relationship.